Party on, interwebs! Party on, Scott. No, that just sounds self-indulgent when I do it to myself. Hi, it's Scott from Admiralty Entertainment here, and today we are taking another little toy tour. This time we're looking at my Indiana Jones collection here, on display at least. I do have pretty much the entire set of this Hasbro line, which came out at the time of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That's would have been one of the last times that we mentioned that movie. And it is an awesome line, which I think is highly underrated. And unfortunately, I just don't have room in this one little shelf here to be able to put everybody out. But I do have a lot of the key players out on display here, and we'll talk about that a little bit, shall we? So obviously we have here the man himself, the man in the hat, Harrison Ford, the coolest man in existence during my childhood. Unfortunately, that's kind of changed a little bit now, but yeah, at the time he was Han Solo and Indiana Jones, so that was a pretty high bar. And of course we do have the rest of his sort of supporting cast and the sort of V-wedge around them. So we've got Marion Ravenwood. This Indiana Jones is of course the I'm doing finger quotes, ultimate version that came in the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive line, box set release of the sort of lost wave of figures. And you'll see that Marion there is also from that same particular assortment. She did, of course, come out with the sort of standard, Cairo marketplace chase scene sort of outfit. But for me, that outfit is much more iconically Marion for my money. One of my favourite sporting characters of all time, Dr. Henry Jones Sr., played by Sean Connery. Again, how cool is your hero when his dad is James Bond? And another really cool supporting character, Salah, played by John Rhys Davies. I really wish that they'd gone on and done, another wave or two of these guys, because I love having a Salah figure, but I really would have liked to have him in his Last Crusade outfit rather than just the digger outfit that they had him from Raiders. But that's not bad. And you can see on the other side here we do have Willie Scott. Again, I kind of wish we could have got another figure of her, not because I want to have two Willie Scott figures, but I really would have preferred to have her in a different outfit rather than just this sacrificial bride sort of thing, which is, again, probably more suitable to her role in the movie. But I would have loved it if we could have seen her in her Anything Goes costume. That would have been an awesome action figure. And we do have Mutt back here. And we also have Short Round. So pretty much all the supporting cast there for Indy. And of course, back and behind, major supporting character, the Horse, who is of course from Raiders, but I figure you can kind of repurpose him a little bit and just pretend that he's the one from Last Crusade, wearing a different outfit as well. And you can see back there is the Grail Knight, who I think is a fantastic sort of oddball addition to the line, but so happy that they did actually do him. So there we have sort of like the heroes section there. They did do a number of different indies themselves, and I did, at one stage I did have two there. You make me tongue-tied whenever you are near me. At one stage, I did have two shelves of Indiana Jones figures, and one shelf was basically all the good guys, and I had, all the different variations of Indy out at the same time, and that was pretty cool. But when I just sort of pared it down to one shelf, kind of had to lose that, which is a shame because it means we don't have Young River Phoenix, and we don't have Indy with a tie, and shirtless Indy from Temple of Doom. As I say, I really wish they could have done just a couple more waves that would have really finished off everything. Indy in his white jacket tux is one which I really wish that they had done, just because I think that's just really cool. But yeah, it's a great core representation of these characters, and I really enjoy them. Of course, we do have some bad guys here. We do have Belloc, who again, it's a great figure, and of course it's an homage to the original Kenner line, but I just wish we could have got Belloc in his, sort of white suit sort of look, because I think that's more iconically Belloc for me. And we have Tote, who again came then that SDCC exclusive one. And of course, yes, I do have the hand out there is the saluting burnt staff of Ra one, because that's just too cool. And the German mechanic. We do have the Ark of the Covenant. It's here. Anybody who's looking for it, it's right here. We have the assorted German soldiers, and we have the colonel guy. Is he a colonel? Anyway, the major Nazi guy from Last Crusade, who I really can't even remember actually being referred to by name within the context of the movie itself. I know he's there, and he's cool. He has this great fight with Indy on top of the tank, which yeah, I really wish they'd made a tank to go with this toy line. And of course, Dr. Elsa Schneider, who is actually probably one of my favourite Indy ladies, just because she was so much fun, played by Alison Doody. And you know, you see she's got a fake grail there. Oh, she'd better not drink from that or anything. And yes, as we can see, German soldiers back here. I really like this motorcycle guard one, who came with the motorcycle set. And of course, you do have smashing of the guys. And of course, you know, as I said before, the mechanic ready to be sliced and diced. And at the back, we do have some Russians from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Definitely not my favorite Indy movie, but you know, it has some concepts which are good. You know, a lot which aren't. It really only sort of starts to feel like a proper Indiana Jones movie for me, in that you know, that fist fight that Indy has with the major there, whose name I also can't remember. You know, just when they sort of bust out those sort of sound effects for the fist fight, then it sort of feels like, yeah, now we're in an Indiana Jones movie. Fortunately, the rest of it didn't work. And you know, as much as I love Cate Blanchett, I really think she was probably miscast. She was too big a name. You know, a lot of the, you know, the use of Cate Blanchett and John Hurt, and you know, even Shia LaBeouf, you know, they were too big a name for Indiana Jones, which for me has always been about discovering cool new actors that you wouldn't see otherwise, rather than shoehorning in big name stars. Speaking of big name stars, we do have the wonderful Stapo. I can't remember how to pronounce his name properly there. Played by, dang it, and his name's gone straight out of my head. Alfred Molina, the wonderful Alfred Molina, largely known to geek fans now as a fantastic Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2, and of course also in Species and a bunch of other stuff, but I really loved him in that Spider-Man 2, that is. And I had no clue that was him until years and years later when I saw the making of documentaries on the DVD release. And he was also part of the SDCC release. A very cool figure. I'm amazed that we've actually got a figure of that guy, but there he is. And of course we have Monkey Man next to him, complete with monkey. It's always good to have a monkey in your collection. A couple of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull guys. You know, the Ugo warriors and the Boneyards? Yeah, I can't even remember the designation for that character. It's an interesting design, but yeah, his whole thing seems to be that they did parkour or something like that, and it's like, not terribly memorable villains. Speaking of memorable villains, though, it's Molina Ram. Cover your heart, Indy. I love this figure. This is fantastic. He stands very, very poorly, but look at the sort of accessory that he comes with. He comes with the chalice, which is amazing, and he comes with a burning heart, which also does not stay in his hand at all. Very annoying. So they does have a little bit of blue tack in there, to help keep it in there. But just look at that face. That's one of the greatest facial applications that I've seen on an action figure ever. And he looks great. You know, it's a removable helmet. Actually, let's see if I can take that headpiece off without knocking him over. Hey, look at that. I mean, that's an impressive figure. You can say what you like about the facial printing technology that they've got now for 6-inch figures, but you know, for a 3 3/4 inch line, that is pretty damn awesome. And of course, you've got, you know, his swordsman guys, which, you know, have a very cool costume. I love how intricate that costume is. And of course, back there, it's the evil guard. Always good to have an evil guard for the fight scenes. Now you'll have noticed back here, in each of the corner, you do have all these little crates, which this line was kind of their gimmick, in that each figure that was separately carded came with this sort of little crate which had an artifact inside from Indiana Jones mythology. And normally it'd be a case of, you open it up and then you throw away the box, but I just love these boxes so much. They're great little crates, which really sort of, put them together in a display like this, and you get that sort of Area 51, as we saw in King of the Crystal Skull, sort of view of everything, all the mysterious artifacts in boxes and everything like that. So I just think it's a nice little piece of set dressing. I do have the vehicles for this line. I do love the truck that they have, but unfortunately, as I say, there's really not enough room to be able to fit everything into this just one shelf. And in the interest of covering more pieces within my display, they have to kind of stay away, so I can just limit this to one shelf. I'm kind of thinking that I should maybe get out some of the Cairo swordsmen though, because they're kind of noticeably absent from there, and I didn't even notice that until I was cleaning these guys. So yeah, that may be an addition that I make in terms of putting a few more figures out. But yeah, there we go. Indiana Jones, one of my favorite movie trilogies of all time. We don't count the fourth one. And a really cool action figure line, which kind of hindered by first wave, which really went all out on King of the Crystal Skull and some other earlier figures, which were not the greatest. But man, by the time they got to wave 3, they were hitting an incredible stride here, and I just wish somehow that we could get another wave, maybe wave and a half, just to be able to fill out those final characters that we need. Indy in his tux, a different Willie Scott, Marcus Brody, really need a Marcus Brody. I did actually buy another Henry with the idea of trying to customize Marcus Brody, but I suck at customizing. So it's a fantastic line. If you don't have any and can get them cheap, I highly recommend them. Maybe if we're lucky, when they eventually do another Indiana Jones movie, we might get another toy line. I'm picking though that they'll probably end up doing like a 6-inch, sort of Black Series sort of line, which I would be totally cool with. I would love to see that. Facial printed Harrison Ford Indiana Jones would be fantastic. Some of these characters in that 6-inch scale, would love them. But if this is all we ever get in terms of a major Indiana Jones line, then I thank you, Hasbro, for having done as much as you have. They're really cool, I love them, and I'm so glad to have them in my collection. I hope that you've enjoyed taking a quick look at these guys. If you want to see any sort of review of anyone particular in here, please let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, please be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and all those wonderful things. And we'll see you again next time on Admiralty Entertainment.